Ninth grade pants and 11th grade body. Perfect.
What an ass.
I know.
You got a little bit of drool right there in the corner.
Right here?
Yeah.
Do I really?
The Kissing Booth franchise has always been one of those guilty pleasure series that fans just can't get enough of. Even though critics haven't exactly been kind to the films, the series has consistently captured a dedicated audience who loves the mix of romance, drama, and teen fun. And now with talk about a fourth installment floating around, it's exciting to imagine where the story could go next. Because while the first 3 movies gave fans plenty of laughs, heartwarming moments, and awkward teen romance, the possibility of a sequel opens up a bunch of new storytelling avenues, especially considering where Elle, Lee, and Noah's lives are now. For those who might need a refresher, the films center on Elle and Lee, played by Joey King and Joel Courtney, and the complicated love triangle that forms when Elle falls for Lee's older brother Noah, portrayed by Jacob Elordi. The chemistry, the drama, and the little twists in their relationships made the films a hit with fans, even if critics weren't impressed. And the third movie in particular left everyone with mixed feelings because it ended with a big time jump, a 6 years later scene that left Elle and Noah's future up in the air. That open-ended finale is exactly what makes the idea of Kissing Booth 4 so thrilling, because it could pick up right where the last film left off and finally answer all those lingering questions. Now, officially, Netflix hasn't announced plans for a fourth film. Even Beth Reekles, the author of the books the movies are based on, hasn't expressed interest in continuing the story in literary form. She's moved on to more mature novels in recent years, leaving The Kissing Booth behind. But here's the thing. Just because there's no book doesn't mean Netflix can't come up with an original storyline for Elle and the gang. After all, streaming platforms often rely on fan demand, and considering how much the trilogy has been loved around the world, there's definitely room for more. Beth Reekles herself was very emotional after the third movie came out, talking about how she cried her heart out watching it. She described it as grieving the end of an era, 10 years of following Elle, Lee, and Noah all coming to a close. And even Joey King, who played Elle, admitted that saying goodbye to the character was incredibly emotional. She mentioned that she had grown with Elle, playing her through some of the most important moments in her own life. So while the third film closed one chapter, it doesn't mean the story has to end entirely, especially if Netflix sees the potential to bring the characters back. Joey King herself has remained active with Netflix, so it's not hard to imagine her reprising the role if a fourth film gets greenlit. Jacob Elordi, however, might be a different story. The Euphoria star has moved on to more critically acclaimed projects and has spoken openly about his complicated feelings toward the franchise. He described the films as ridiculous and even called them a bit of a trap, explaining that they were more about giving fans an escape than creating something universally meaningful. While that might make it unlikely for him to return as Noah, the franchise could still continue without him. After all, The Kissing Booth is ultimately about Elle, and there's plenty of room to explore her journey in new ways. Even if Jacob doesn't come back, fans can still look forward to Elle's story unfolding. In the third movie, we saw her choose her own path, opting to attend USC to study video game design instead of following the traditional paths of her friends or Noah. That independence was a highlight for many viewers, and it sets the stage for the fourth movie to explore Elle's life as a young adult in more depth. We could see her navigating career challenges, new relationships, and even family life. There's even the tantalizing possibility of Elle having a baby, which would add a whole new dimension to her character and open up fresh storylines, whether it's balancing motherhood with her ambitions, or bringing her friends back into the mix to support her. The potential plots for The Kissing Booth 4 are endless. One exciting idea could involve Lee and Rachel's wedding, which would naturally bring the characters together again and create opportunities for relationship drama. Marco and Chloe could return, adding new conflicts, while Elle might explore a new romance, especially if Noah isn't around. This could be an opportunity to focus on Elle's growth, her friendships, and even her career, giving fans a chance to see how she's evolved since the original trilogy. Interestingly, Jacob Elordi once suggested a concept for a fourth movie when promoting the third film, even though he's moved away from the series. He imagined the characters in a nursing home, reflecting on their lives from their 20s to their 90s. While that's a far-off scenario, it shows how versatile the franchise can be if Netflix decides to think outside the box. And for fans, that kind of long-term storytelling could be incredibly satisfying, giving a sense of closure while also keeping the heart of the series alive. It's also worth noting that the open ending of the third film left a lot of fans wanting more. They loved seeing Elle follow her own path, but the cliffhanger regarding her and Noah's relationship made them curious about what happens next. A fourth movie could finally provide that answer, whether it reunites Elle and Noah or takes her in a completely new direction. Either way, the anticipation alone is a big part of the excitement. One of the fun things about The Kissing Booth 4 is that it doesn't have to strictly follow the previous formula. While Noah's return might be uncertain, there are other characters and new additions that could bring fresh energy to the series. For instance, Elle's potential new love interest, possibly Marco, could offer a modern romantic storyline while still keeping the familiar, heartfelt tone that fans love. Plus, exploring Elle's career ambitions and personal growth could make the story more relatable and inspiring for viewers who grew up with the trilogy. And let's not forget the potential for humor and lighthearted moments. The franchise has always balanced romance with comedy, and that would likely continue in a fourth movie. Fans could expect the same mix of awkward encounters, friendship dynamics, and heartfelt moments that made the first three films so enjoyable. Even without Noah, the chemistry between Elle, Lee, and other returning characters could carry the story forward in a fun and engaging way. The idea of introducing Elle's baby is especially exciting because it adds new stakes and emotional depth. Whether it's a new chapter for her love life, a storyline about family, or simply watching Elle navigate adult life in a realistic yet charming way, a baby could bring a whole new layer to the franchise. It also gives room for cameos and interactions with past characters, keeping the continuity alive while introducing fresh drama and humor. Joey King's involvement would be crucial here. Since she's still actively working with Netflix and has a strong connection to the character, her return would anchor the movie no matter who else joins. Her dedication to Elle over the years makes her perfect for carrying the story forward, and fans would likely be thrilled to see her back on screen. Ultimately, The Kissing Booth 4 could serve as both a continuation and an evolution of the series. It can honor the original trilogy while exploring Elle's life in new and exciting ways, whether that's through romance, career ambitions, personal growth, or even motherhood. And because the franchise has always been a fan favorite, there's a built-in audience eager to see more. The combination of nostalgia, character development, and fresh storylines makes it a perfect candidate for a sequel that could satisfy both longtime fans and newcomers alike. In short, even though official announcements haven't been made, the fourth movie is an idea with a lot of potential. Whether it reunites the classic cast, introduces new characters, or even features Elle with a baby, it promises to continue the fun, romance, and heart of the series. Fans have spent years following Elle, Lee, and Noah's journey, and a fourth installment could be the perfect way to explore the next chapter in their lives while giving the franchise the continuation it deserves. So while we wait for Netflix to make a move, it's fun to imagine all the ways The Kissing Booth 4 could bring back the magic, offer new adventures, and maybe even give fans a glimpse of Elle's future family life. Whether it's romance, friendships, career ambitions, or family milestones, there's no shortage of stories to tell. And with Joey King likely to return, the heart of the series is in good hands. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.